Hey YouTube, Enosh here, and DC's Rebirth is in full swing, and I couldn't be happier. Stay tuned. So if you've been watching my videos and kind of scoured my channel a little bit, you would see that, well, I pretty much have a lot of comic book knowledge stuffed inside my head. And that's because, well, I love comics, I love the characters, I love the stories, and I've enjoyed these things for years. But, you know, even though a lot of my videos center around comic book movies and sci-fi and Star Wars, you can tell my whole family's involved. I mean, my son's middle name is Jor-El, for goodness sake, and my other son's name is actually Logan, and his mom named him after Wolverine. So we've got all of our bases covered, both DC and Marvel here in this house. That being said, I have to come clean with something. Come here. I haven't actually actively collected comic books since the mid-90s. So I got into comic book collecting around the time that they killed off Superman. That got my attention because I loved Superman. I loved the character so much. And when they said they were going to kill him, I wanted to read that. I was not actively reading the comic at the time. So then, of course, I collected for the next about 3 or 4 years. I got back issues back to all the way to 1986, and I read all of that stuff. So I knew the history, and then I read my friend's Wolverine comic books and his X-Men comic books, and I just got ingrained in those characters. And so in the meantime, in the years since, well, you know, every once in a while I stop off at the library and I pick up a graphic novel of this or that, and I kind of read those things. And so that's how I've stayed current with what's going on. But I gotta be honest with you, there was a reason why I stopped collecting. You see, I stopped loving the stories. The stories just got ridiculous, and some of the artwork was bad, and I didn't like that, and I was young, man, and I didn't feel like putting down my hard-earned money for something that I didn't feel was that great, and it wasn't providing the entertainment that I wanted anymore. So that's where I've been at, and I've been so disgusted ever since they came out with the New 52. And I'm not here to bash the New 52. It is what it is. It was what it was. And there are many people who liked it, many people who didn't like it. But overall, I think it's safe to say that, well, a lot of people were kind of disappointed with it. So you could imagine my surprise when I heard about Rebirth. This was awesome, especially for me as a Superman fan, because if there was one thing I didn't like about the New 52 and I just could not accept, was the New 52 Superman. He just did not seem even like a man. He dressed strangely. The way that they drew him was very effeminate. And I'm sorry, he's Superman. He just should not be drawn that way. People can say what they want to about the red trunks and armored suits and all that stuff. I just never thought of him as Superman, and I just couldn't get my head around that. So I was very excited to learn that my Superman, the Superman that I grew up with, that I collected, that I learned about, know about, was coming back. They first piqued my interest with the Lois and Clark series, and now that I find out that, you know what, unfortunately this Superman had to die from New 52, and now they're bringing in this other Superman from the world that I know, man, I've been so excited, and I've been looking forward to this. And so I actually went out and purchased the one-shot of Rebirth. And I tell you what, if you have not done that, you need to do that. If you love comics, if you love The Flash, you know, we talk about The Flash a lot on my channel, and that just kind of happened by accident because of the way people have watched my channel, to be honest with you. And so we talk a lot about that. But this new series starts off with Wally West, the Wally West that I grew up with, knowing, you know, as Kid Flash and then the Flash, and it was great to see that. So the Flash is playing an integral part. There's a crossover here, I'm gonna be honest with you. And so Wally's in the Speed Force in this, and he's trying to reach out to people to try to remind them of who he is, because he says an outside force has stolen 10 years of continuity out of the DC universe, and they don't know who it is or what happened. And he's trying to get out of the Speed Force. He goes to Batman, he goes to a couple other characters in there, and finally he comes to Barry, and Barry remembers him. And that is awesome. Barry gets him out of the Speed Force, and away we go. Now at the end, there's a very interesting little link to kind of tell us who may be the person who took away those 10 years. It could very much be Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen series. I love how they're combining that, how they're bringing that together, and it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. And of course, you know what? I'm excited. I'm happy. Are you excited? Have you read Rebirth? Have you read the one shot? Are you going to start collecting the other ones? Maybe you're someone who has not been collecting like me, and now this is kind of giving you just that little nudge, that little push. I mean, we're going to be reading Superman and Batman and the Flash because my kids are interested now, and we're going to do this as a family. So I'm interested to hear your story. Have you just been collecting all along? Have you been collecting the New 52 and been excited about that? Maybe you're a little let down by Rebirth. I'd love to hear that too in the comments section. But if you love it, let me know, okay? And we're going to cover those comics going forward here on the channel. So I hope that you are reading along with me, and I say, man, here's to Rebirth. Great job, DC. I look forward to seeing what the future holds. I'm Enosh, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.